I peeked my head into the audiophile world. Here's what I found. Convenience is an absolute ripoff. You pay so much for just convenience. Hey everyone, my name is Axel. I'm a content creation specialist and a digital marketing student here in the Reno Tahoe area. I'm gonna get right into the anger and then I'll kind of mellow things out. So I currently own the Google Pixel Buds, the Sony Link Buds, the Sony WF-1000 XM3s, and the Sennheiser HD599s. Guess which one out of those four was the cheapest and has by far the best sound quality? It's the Sennheisers. The Sennheiser HD599s absolutely crush all of the rest of these in terms of audio quality and are the best headphones I have ever owned. The best listening equipment I have ever owned. And that pisses me off so bad. I'll tell you why. So this is what I paid for each of these. The Google Pixel Buds were roughly $180. The Link Buds were roughly $180. The Sony WF-1000 XM3s were $250. And the Sennheiser HD599s were $120. Okay, technically the Sennheisers brand new are $180, but it's like a 6-year-old model of headphone, sounds amazing, and is constantly going on sale. So it's easy to find these for much cheaper than brand new price. And yes, this is what I'm dipping my toes into the audiophile world, is just the Sennheiser HD599s and the little frickin' dongle so I can plug it into my smartphone. And I know, I can hear it already, there's some audiophile out there who's like, man, you should have just bought this like old thing from the 90s. It would have been like 50 bucks and it would have given you much better sound quality. Shut up. Out of my video, I know, but there's a middle ground. Okay, so clearly I've just fallen victim to marketing for years. Basically since my freshman year of high school, I've just been falling victim to the marketing of whatever is the next best mass market thing. And I hadn't been able to find myself out of that fog until recently. But what actually pissed me off after buying my HD599s is how much money I have spent for just convenience. I started to look at things a bit more objectively. Take the HD599s, for example. These, if you boil it down, is just a chassis, a couple speakers, and a wire. Because of that, as long as Sennheiser has done a good job of building these, which their reputation would say yes, these are gonna last for years, for many years. I will still be able to get great sound quality out of these. And you know, wireless dinguses, yes, I watch a lot of dank pods, is a battery for the case. It's the case itself. It's a battery for each earplug. It is the software development for the ANC, the touch controls, the, what else? Geez, there's so much. The app that every single Bluetooth headphone seems to have, and not to mention all the marketing that goes into these. I hate marketing. Yes, I am a digital marketing student. Know your enemy. Dang it. Not to mention that all of these devices are entirely dependent on their own internal batteries never crapping out, which they will eventually. So these are just, they're destined for the landfill, which also kind of sucks. I feel like you're paying so much for just garbage that if you boil it down, I feel like there's maybe 1/10 of your retail price is actually focused on sound quality. And the other 9/10 that you're paying for is the app, it's the software, it is the case, and just marketing. You're paying for all of those ads that you're seeing everywhere. I think that's what really pisses me off here, is that I fell victim to the marketing that this is like what good sound quality is. And that if you're jumping up into the audiophile experience, you're buying like, you know, the Sony WH-1000 XM4s or the AirPods Max. Like that's the audiophile equipment, and these are just good listening equipment, but it's not! That's not what these are! And it's because of the marketing. That's what's smacking you in the face all the time. These are your good listening equipment, and stuff like AirPods Max is your audiophile stuff. That's like, I hate that I fell for that for so long. It's like, believe me when I tell you that these sound amazing. Well, amazing is real, gosh darn subjective. And the marketing for Bluetooth headphones is so thick, you really have to try and like look past it to find even just some wired options. Maybe not even good wired options, but just something. Like just Google headphones and see what pops up. I spent so much money on mediocre listening equipment. Ah, man. I kid you not, I really enjoy music, and I have ever since my freshman year when I got my first iPod, and I would just like sit there and try to sneak listening to school in class instead of listening to Truman Capote's In Cold Blood or whatever book I was supposed to be reading in English class. And whatever I found out about like some sort of new headphone, or when the Bluetooth stuff started coming out, it's like, oh, dude, like that's the next step in evolution. That's what I'm gonna upgrade to, that's gonna give me a better listening experience. Little did I freaking know. Okay, let's level things out a bit. Obviously, if I had been more initiated or even just more exposed to headphones, I could have easily found my way through the marketing and found stuff like this. These are not hidden. I just never knew to really look for them. You know, and wireless buds and things like that, they all have their place. Like, just because I have these does not mean I'm getting rid of these. Like my Sony Link Buds, I still use practically every day for YouTube and school. My WF-1000 XM3s, I still use these when I go out to the grocery store and I don't want to hear the disgusting sounds of the general public. And my Pixel Buds, well, they're around. And then my Sennheiser HD599s, these are now for work, for actually truly listening to music. And like, I don't think I'll ever buy another pair of like Bluetooth earbuds or Bluetooth headphones, because it's like, these are just in a whole nother league and they're so good. When you compare, I know some audiophile is sitting there at his keyboard like, this HD599s, you ain't seen shit yet, wait until you spend $3,000 on some Meze Imperials or whatever the fuck. I get it. The audiophile it's a whole big world. Like I said, I peeked my head in. I'm dipping my toes. This is my gateway drug, essentially. The most important aspect of all of this to me is sound quality, and I don't mind giving up convenience in order to gain all that sound quality. Like I said, the HD599s absolutely crush anything else I have ever owned. Now let's talk about Mastodon. I think this band doesn't really sound good on cheap audio listening equipment. Well, they're not cheap. That's the thing that pisses me off. Mastodon is a band that I don't think sounds good on poor audio quality equipment. Some of their stuff is very fast paced and there's a lot going on. They use a lot of distortion. There's so many instruments at play and there's so many different effects at play when you listen to bands like Mastodon, that if you don't have good audio equipment that can keep up with what they're doing, it all just kind of sounds like noise. One of them that actually kind of blew me away recently is if you listen to Capillary and Crest, if I'm even saying that right, this song, listen to that song on like some little dingus buds and then listen to them on some wired good quality headphones, and that is a totally different song. I never really cared for that song because on stuff like this, it just kind of sounds like noise. But I listened to it on this and it is a really cool song. There's so much going on. Another good example, I've heard The Sparrow by Mastodon well over 100 times, but until I started listening to it on these, I feel like I never really heard that song. There's so many fine details and things like that that the HD599s will pick up on that the other little frickin' buds that I have never did. Oh, actually, earlier today I was listening to Mr. Jack by System of a Down, and when I was listening to it on my HD599s, I noticed that there is like this high-pitched chime in the right ear, kind of up high, that I never noticed before. And I listened to it back on some of my wireless buds, and it's not there, but I can hear it in this, and it's those fine details that are just like hidden in places that the buds can't pick up. that I'm just like, I've spent so much money on trash. Gosh, man. So the massive jump in sound quality and the imaging, the ability to tell which direction instruments are coming from just makes music so much more fun. Like you'll have this like a cymbal off in the right side that's kind of just like doing its thing. You'll have a guitar kick in over on the left side as a drum line just comes straight across your face. It's like you're sitting in the middle and this band is just playing in all directions around you. It's the coolest thing. Albums I have owned for years like suddenly sound new, like they've got new life. There's new instruments that just weren't there before. Whenever I bought like a new wireless earbud, it was just kind of like, all right, well, now I have these now and I'll wait until the next cool thing comes out or whatever, you know? But after buying the HD 599s, it's like, these introduced me to a whole world I didn't really even know existed. So I bought these and now all I can think of is like, well, what's next? But not because these are bad. These are fantastic. But I think what's next because I have so much more to learn. There's so much more out there that I didn't know existed, and these are the stepping stone to those. Man. Anyway, what was your first dip into more serious audio equipment? Let me know down in the comments and don't forget to subscribe.